saying is that as leader on the left, we also have an obligation to explain what it will take to do that. So just hypothetically speaking, if we had a candidate who ran in the Democratic primaries, who used the approach that we have used, which is a fighting strategy, bringing up demands like Bernie Sanders, but then unlike Bernie Sanders, not just falling in line to support Biden or whoever else becomes the anointed nominee, for the coronation, but instead said, this is rotten. In fact, the Democratic Party is not on our side. We need to fight independently, and then I'm going to run as independent in the general election. And coming out of the election, I'm going to launch this organization that can go on fighting. If we had something like that, of course, I welcome that. My position is not that we should not have that. All I'm saying is I don't see it on the horizon.
So Marianne has said in this Vanguard interview that she would do a dirty break.
That's a bold-faced lie. She did not say that whatsoever.
Remember,
and I'll bring it up in just a second.
To that moment, and Marianne was like, it depends on how the party treats me. If they treat me well, then I will abandon the movement and support the Democratic Party. To me, when I reacted to that moment, that was our last live stream, I literally said that was one of the worst answers she could have gave. Literally one of the worst answers she possibly gave about that. If he said, if the Democratic Party that we know is corrupt, that we know is imperialist, that we know is capitalist, that we know is horrible on human life, if they just nice to me, then I tell you vote for them. You guys see it's about her instead of the movement? That was her answer, which I thought was atrocious. But let's continue.
Yeah.
She said they asked her that question specifically, and she said that when Donald Trump was asked that in the context of the 2016 Republican primary, he said, whether or not you were going to support the eventual nominee, he says, it depends on how you treat me. And left that threat looming in the air.
You see how that's a Trumpian answer? Which is a move that we like, the strategy-wise, we need that. But he did, like, he's all about me. I don't give a fuck about any ideas. That was Trump. He didn't give a fuck about ideas. He wanted to be president. So for him, it was like, it's depending on how you treat me. I don't give a fuck if I take this whole shit. Then we don't need that energy on the left. Like, and it's about you. You do what's best for the movement, even if it means you lose your DC contact. Even if Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and the election observers was kissing your ass. Even if they gave you shiny reviews in every interview, you still said, fuck you, I'm with the people. According to Marianne, she's gonna say she with the establishment, as long as they not to her, they can treat us like garbage, like they do. But she don't care, as long as they treat her nice. That's a horrible answer. Watch the interview. She says that. Watch it. Go ahead, CJ.
He was going to run independently if he was pushed out of the Republican primary. Now, obviously, he won, and so we never tested that theory. But knowing that, does that change your opinion about Marianne's run? And moreover, are you really
No, not at all. Just to answer the question quickly, not at all.
Saying that, but for someone willing to do a dirty break, you don't think there's any utility for the progressive movement from a messaging standpoint and having a progressive run in a Democratic primary?
I think it's a question of in on balance, what gains we can get. I mean, as I said before, of course, there were gains made just in terms of building the confidence of voters with having a campaign like Bernie Sanders. But on balance, what happened? On balance, people ended up getting demoralized because there was nothing that came out of it. And as a matter of fact, a lot of young people ended up getting... Sorry.
Is that a dog?
I think at least
she comes back. She comes back in a few minutes. But we can let them listen to what they say.
No, go ahead, Imani. After you, please.
Oh yeah, no. I was just saying. I actually am pretty big on the idea that maybe we shouldn't run in the presidency as far as progressives.
Didn't she say something completely opposite earlier? Now she said maybe we shouldn't run. Wasn't she saying Biden shouldn't run and we should get Marianne? Maybe I'm wrong.
So I'll be nice here. Let's just say Shama Sawant was so persuasive that she went from saying that she hoped Joe Biden don't want to, like, shit, maybe fuck the presidency. I'll give Shama a prop for that, because maybe she just fucking did a fraudulent slip and forgot the messaging that she's giving because Shama was so influential. So let's continue.
are concerned. I mean, I do see your point, Brie, about like doing it just to like push the way Bernie did in 2016. Like he shifted the entire conversation of the way we talk about every single piece of policy. But one of the things that really annoyed me about 2020 was that when the establishment Dems pulled the tricks that they pulled to get Bernie out the way, the entire progressive movement was like, oh, we gotta help Biden now. And I just didn't understand why, when there were plenty of progressives running on the state, local, and in congressional races, we could have taken our stuff and said, oh, you stabbed us in the back. Well, best of luck. You guys have all the money in the world. You have all the consultants in the world. We're going to go and we're going to focus on our people down ballot. And I think that we would have done a much better job. And now granted, I have no hope in establishment Democrats being able to do things well, right? So it really would have been.
I have no hope of this strategy working, but I'm going to advocate for it because I don't give a fuck. That's what I heard. I hope this worked, but but what the fuck? What the fuck? Continue. What the fuck?
A toss-up there, right? But we would have had a lot more progressives down ballot, and I have no idea. Well, actually, I do know why. I mean, it brought orgs a lot of money. It brought.
I was just down everything you said. Yeah, we will have more progressive down ballot.
I don't understand. I don't get the logic. It's you did me wrong, so let me go vote for other Democrats that are at different offices. That's what she's saying.
We're gonna help you win your election. That'll show you. You'll never.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for your Senate candidate.
Yes, like what are you talking about?
Now you got a professional managerial like, and I'm sure the people that probably watched this, she probably thought she was killing. I literally just heard her entire spill. None of it makes logical sense. Like it makes sense in terms of the English language. Like she said one word that's supposed to go after the next one. But if you think about the content of the conversation logically, it doesn't make any fucking sense what she's talking about here. But let's continue.
Progressive movement was like, oh, we gotta help Biden now. And I just didn't understand why, when there were plenty of progressives running on the state, local, and in congressional races, we could have taken our stuff and said, oh, you stabbed us in the back. Well, best of luck. You guys have all the money in the world. You have all the consultants in the world. We're going to go and we're going to focus on our people down ballot. And I think.
So when the progressive down ballot loses, which most of them did, why do you guys think we had to rely on John fucking Fetterman? Because progressives got wiped in the election. So after the progressives lose the primary, then what? Oh, we got to vote Democrat. Then what lesson do you taught them at that point? So you vote for the progressive in the primary, then the corporate Democrat wins, then you vote for the corporate Democrat. What lesson was taught to them? This why what you're saying fundamentally don't make sense to me. But go ahead, CJ.
What I want to do, because I do want to interject this when we cut this, so I'm going to come back to the last few minutes of that video, but I finally found the dirty break thing on this video here. So let's listen to when he asked about the dirty break. Is at the end of this video, almost the last question here. Hang on a second.
Yeah, in 2016. And all those Republicans who were up on the debate.
Yeah, this is it right here. So somehow Bree interpret this as her saying she will do the dirty break.
For that reason, a lot of people were wondering if you would have any interest in pursuing a strategy known as a dirty break, which is if you're.
And we're gonna end this on this question here. A dirty break. Let's listen to her answer.
Attempt to secure the nomination is unsuccessful thanks to their efforts to rig it or to treat you unfairly. Is there any chance you would then pursue a third-party challenge after the primary ends? Continue this resistance to the corporate duopoly from outside of it.
When the Republican debates were happening, I think in 2016, and all those Republicans who were up on the debate stage, one of the moderators said to Donald Trump, well, if you don't win the nomination, will you still support the Republican nominee? And you might remember what his response was. It was, depends on how you treat me.
Right.
So now we're taking advice from the fascist Donald Trump. Now we're taking election campaign advice from Donald Trump, and that is the Marianne Williamson route that we have. If we're talking about the routes we have right here at this crossroads for the left, but the fact that she was not able to just say, absolutely, I'm doing that, this I'm gonna leave it open kind of thing. No, that to me, that's my no come from. Go ahead, Nick.
I hate that answer. I hate that answer. You guys want to know why? Look, depends on how they treat me. Me. It's about me. Are we building a movement or is it about you? What do you mean it depends how you treat you? So if they tell you, Marianne Williamson, if you drop out of the race, we will make sure you will get a high-level government position in the Pete Buttigieg administration. She's like, well, they treated me nice. I'm going to sell out. That's a horrible answer. She just told you. If she get a cabinet position and they treat her right, fuck the movement. What the fuck are you talking about? And they treat you right. I was listening like, what the fuck you about to say? That is about as bad as an answer you can give. Well, how about how it depends how they treat me? It depends how you treat the movement. Are you giving in to my demands? Are you giving a policy concession? Are you giving progressive people jobs in the government? She said, depending on how you treat me. Well, I did a book deal. And let me tell you to add on this. Hope you guys don't blacklist me. To add on this, what would have been a better answer, which I still would have disagreed with, because you guys know I like to argue both ways, even in the argument I disagree with. I would disagree with her answer if she said, I won't support the Democratic Party unless they said they support Medicare for all. Unless they said they would support $15 minimum wage, because that's essentially what the Biden Progressive Task Force was. Remember the Biden Progressive Task Force, where they got all the progressive wins, including a public option that you never hear about? Just one thing they got, right? So she didn't even say it depends if you support policy, which I would disagree with that take, but it's a better take because at least you're basing it around policy instead of ego. Because my response would be, Democrats always promise shit. We are past the point of believing promises, but at least that would be a better answer. See, there was no policy, nothing in the answer, which is why I think it was horrible. Why I think it was horrible. Let's continue.
Let's go. But do you in the chat? You saw the video of her answer of a dirty break. Would you call that saying she's gonna do a dirty break? I would not. Referencing you. She just says, "Remember what Donald Trump says if they treat me right." Like she almost didn't even answer the question about herself. She just brings up a story, and then that's the answer. And then somehow Bree takes from that to mean she said she's gonna do a dirty break. I'm like, what? And this was our natural reaction from that.